Thanks for staying with us. The restaurant industry has been given the green light for sit-down dining. As from this Monday, eateries will have to adhere to strict COVID-19 protocols to ensure the safety of both customers and employees. It's been over 3 months already since restaurants closed their doors. Joining us now to discuss some of those implications, I'm joined by the Restaurant Collective and Ocean Basket CEO, Grace Harding. Grace, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Before we talk about the implications and the complex nature of this new normal that the restaurant industry is entering into, some good news with the fact that sit-down dining can now start again from Monday.
It's certainly it's good news. We're going to start crawling. It's a slow process, but I think human nature is such that you want everything to be instant and perfect right away. But it's great news that we're going to get back on our feet slowly but surely.
It's certainly not going to be an easy process, is it? Because the fine print just goes on forever and ever, as announced by the minister yesterday. I think immediately of the physical implications. Now, it's all well and good. If you look into a restaurant, you'll see, they're spacing out the tables, so it means customers won't have to sit near to each other. But I think of all of those very important and tight spaces in restaurants. I think of the passageway that leads from the dining area to the kitchen. I think of the scullery, all of these areas where employees, very often or not, in most restaurants, big ones and small ones, have to work with each other quite up close. How difficult is it going to be able to ensure that those spaces adhere to these regulations?
So we've already taken steps such as simplifying the menu. So the best way to adapt is for a restaurant to simplify itself. And we've been doing a lot of work over the last 5-6 weeks to work with restaurant owners and to say, if the menu is simple, then the whole value chain of the restaurant becomes simpler. So there are demarcations on the floor. The training includes all the masking tape. People know they have to be careful. That is what we really believe. We've seen that, you do see people wearing masks. You do see people with sanitizer. And I guess we've got to be responsible as an industry, and we've got to keep on reminding our colleagues, our precious staff, our customers and everyone else to be responsible. But it'll take some time. Nothing's going to be instant. Slowly, people will start to get used to this new way, which we already are. We go to the supermarkets like this now.
Now, when setting up a restaurant, I've been told repeatedly that each square meter within a restaurant is configured and worked out to the T, because each square meter must be able to pay for itself at the end of the day. Is there talk amongst the industries that some restaurants would perhaps not want to open because it might just not end up being worth their while to open up for sit-down restaurants if they cannot tick all of their financial boxes?
We've got to adapt. I think the one thing COVID is teaching us is agility, elasticity and adaptation. We are very lucky that we didn't get told you can only allow 30 people at a time or 40. So we've also got to be grateful for what we've got. What we've got to do now is work a little harder to make that square meterage work harder. Also, it's a tough challenge to work with a landlord, to work with all our utility costs, to really be careful about how many toothpicks we put out. We just have to run the business in a much more lean way, and customers will understand. So if we can turn the tables just a little faster, then we'll slowly start to crawl back. It's not going to be instant. It will be tough. And every restaurateur must remember, restaurants are still relevant. The places where there's a challenge is where financially my restaurant was not stable beforehand. So there's different levels and fitness of people coming back into the industry.
And now, one of the regulations stated that alcohol will not be allowed to be consumed on site. What kind of an impact do you think that might have on some bottom line for some restaurants? Because many of them do make some money off their liquor offering. Is there any talk that you might ask for permission for people to bring their own bottle of wine onto the property? Or I suppose if consumption is the issue, that's a no-no as well.
Yeah, so that's it. It's the consumption, it's not the sale. So the restaurants can still sell liquor, as a takeaway. So, of course, the liquor thing is a concern for some restaurants. I mean, imagine being a wine farm restaurant. And your whole reason for being is really almost not relevant for a while still. It is a concern, and we've got to take what we can get. We've got to work with the government. They are worried about lives. We have our own opinions. No one is ever going to see eye to eye. Let's just start to work and crawl back. Will there be some customers who will say, I'm not going out for a steak and milkshake? Perhaps. Perhaps there will be, but the no liquor thing is not forever.
As long as that milkshake is, I think chocolate milkshake will go better with steak than strawberry, in my opinion. Thank you so much. That is the Restaurant Collective and Ocean Basket CEO, Grace Hardy. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, we wish you and your industry everything of the best. So many South Africans depend on this industry for their livelihoods. So let's hope they can make a proper go of it.